Heart disease is the #1 cause of death in the United States. The National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, the NHLBI, which provides leadership for a national program in disease of the heart, blood vessels, lung and blood resources, and sleep disorders, funded this project to help African Americans prevent heart disease. This web-based training session, being conducted by the project team at Morehouse School of Medicine, will help community health workers, CHWs, like you learn the risk factors for heart disease so that you can help to educate other community health workers and clients. I am also encouraging you to participate with other community health workers in the online discussion forums that will be available in the virtual classroom as well. There are a total of 10 web-based sessions that you will cover during this training. If you are also participating in the Learning Circle discussions, these sessions will be taught in more detail in the classroom. The sessions are Knowledge is Power, Know Your Risk of Heart Disease, Act in Time to Heart Attack Signs, Get Energized, Say Yes to Physical Activity, Help Your Heart, Control Your High Blood Pressure, Be Heart Smart, Keep Your Cholesterol in Check, Embrace Your Health, Aim for a Healthy Weight, Protect Your Heart, Take Good Care of Your Diabetes for Life, Make Heart Healthy Eating an Everyday Family Reunion, Eat in a heart-healthy way, even when time or money is tight. Take control of your health. Enjoy living smoke-free. There are accompanying handouts and picture cards for each session to be used when you are teaching these sessions to other community health workers or clients. Handouts are available at the end of each chapter of your manual. Electronic copies are available by clicking your mouse on each handout title. Hello, and welcome to the 6th session of the Peer-to-Peer Training of Community Health Workers to Improve Heart Health project. Embrace your health. Aim for a healthy weight. By the end of the session, you will know being overweight is a risk factor for high blood cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Healthy weights are given in ranges. Losing weight or keeping a healthy weight means making a lifelong change. And finally, fad diets usually do not work over the long term and can be harmful. When you are teaching this session, you will be referring to 10 handouts located at the end of session 6 in your manual. Tina's story about losing weight, role play, on page 191 and 192, body mass index chart or BMI on page 193, do you need to lose weight on page 194, Miss Diane's healthy lifestyle on page 195, and Tina's habits and her weight on page 196. Tips to help you control your weight on page 197, serving sizes on page 198, read the food label for calories on page 199, Tina's snack choices on page 200 and 201, and Soul Food Makeover Smothered Greens recipe on page 202. Electronic copies of handouts are available by clicking your mouse on each handout title in the sidebar located on this page. Let us start with some facts about overweight and obesity. Being overweight and obese increases your risk of heart disease and stroke. Almost 8 in 10 African American women, about 1 in 4 African American men, and about 1 in 4 African American children are overweight or obese. When you are overweight or obese, it increases your risk of heart disease and stroke. It also contributes to the development of high blood cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetes, some types of cancer, and may make other problems worse, such as arthritis and sleep disorders. But the good news is that even losing a small amount of weight can improve many health problems that come along with being overweight or obese. To determine what a healthy weight is for your client, we will use the BMI chart. BMI stands for Body Mass Index. First, you must determine your weight and know your height. To use a BMI chart, put your finger on the circled number, which is your height, and move your finger across the chart until you get to the line that corresponds with your weight. The color codes will tell you if your weight is healthy, overweight, or obese. Turn to picture card 6.1 and have your client go to the body mass index chart or BMI chart handout on page 193 of the manual and allow them to try for themselves. Next step to learning if you are a healthy weight is to measure your waist. Remember, a waist measurement should be less than 35 inches for women and less than 40 inches for men. You can now look at the results from the BMI chart and your weight and use these to determine if you should lose weight. Remember the risk factors for heart disease. Now, if your BMI is in the overweight range and you have at least 2 risk factors, you should lose weight. If your BMI is in the overweight range and you have a high waist measurement, you should lose weight. And finally, if your BMI is the obese range, you should lose weight. If your weight is in the obese range, you also need to lose weight. Now let us discuss some healthy ways to lose weight. Let's start by talking about a calorie. A calorie is a measure of energy that the body gets from food. You gain weight when you eat more calories than your body uses for energy. To lose weight, you may choose foods with fewer calories or become more physically active. It is always best to do both. Pregnant women should not try to lose weight. It is best if you can lose weight and keep it off by doing it gradually by eating fewer calories and being physically active. Individuals can have many barriers to weight loss. Some of these are: they lack support from family members or friends. They do not know how to cook without fat or how to use recipes. They believe that healthy foods are too expensive. Fruits and vegetables cost more than junk food at the local store. The neighborhood is dangerous or lacks well-lit areas for people to do physical activity. Other barriers are working parents are often short on time and energy. Changing behavior is difficult and takes time and effort. They think that being heavy means that a person is healthy. Family activities center around food. And finally, friends give the wrong message by saying things like, "You're better off with some extra weight." Some ways to beat those barriers are: find another person who also wants to lose weight so you can stay motivated. Walk or plan other fun activities with another person. Find activities that the whole family can enjoy. Look for free or low-cost physical activity facilities at local community centers or parks and recreational programs. Share cooking chores and recipes with a friend. You can ask a doctor or registered dietitian to help you develop a weight loss plan. We see these ads about these miracle diets. Don't fall for them. They may waste your money and give you little or short-lasting results, or even none at all. It is important for you to know the importance of the serving size for a food product. This can be found on the food label. Everything that is on the label must be multiplied by the serving size to know the total amount of calories in that single container. Here are some examples of a single serving size. We have learned that in order to lose weight, a person must eat fewer calories that the body burns for energy. Now we are going to learn how to use the food label to choose foods that are lower in calories. Take a look at the food label to find the number of calories in 1 can of regular soda. The can pictured here has a total of 140 calories. A can of diet soda or water has none. If you drink 2 cans of soda a day, you will need to double all the serving sizes. And as a reminder, fat-free does not mean calorie-free. You still need to read the label. Now that you have completed this session, do you have any questions? Is there any information that is unclear to you or difficult to understand? What information covered in this session do you think community members may have difficulty understanding? Are there any issues particular to women that should be highlighted in this session? What information covered in this session do you think may be a little challenging for you to present? Why? You will have an opportunity to share your responses with other community health workers in your learning circle discussion and on the online discussion forum.